Guys, in the wake of Star Wars Episode 7, I just had to make this video. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I'm excited about the Ninja Turtles. That looks pretty cool, but, I mean, honestly, guys, I was like, George Lucas, did you really do that? See, I went to film school where the guy who literally was the producer on The Godfather and also won an Oscar for The Godfather 2. He was the head guy at my school. It was a really small school, so I mean, like, we all knew each other and everything. And so I'm just telling you guys, I mean, George Lucas, he has ruined. He has literally ruined movies. He has ruined them. He ruined them with his stupid CGI crap. I mean, guys, it's been 6 years. I'm trying to count here. 6 years since I've seen a good movie. This is The Dark Knight. That was the last good movie I saw. I mean, tell me, guys. I mean, when was the last time you went to a movie theater and you actually came out of there and you said, man, that's a great movie. I love that movie. I gotta go back and see it. When was the last time that happened? When? Last year? Tell me when. Last year. You came out of there and you said, oh, that was a great movie. I didn't hear anybody, because there wasn't one. There wasn't one. The whole year went by, and you didn't have one great movie. I mean, it used to be before 1980 when George Lucas came out with Star Wars and started making all this franchising of everything. It used to be that we had incredible movies. Every year, every week you could go see a great movie. It was a classic, like every movie before 1980 was a classic. It was a classic compared to what we have today. You know, George Lucas started the idea of franchising movies. He started that. And what did he decide to do? What did he decide to do? He didn't just say, well, you know, I made this incredible saga and I screwed up on the prequels. I screwed up. So I'm just going to bury all those and burn them, and we're not going to sell those anymore. We're not going to sell them. We're just going to pretend like it never happened, and I'm just going to help people make really good CGI effects. And hope they make great stories. No, he couldn't do that. He couldn't just be a part of the movies and just say, "Here, I'm just going to help out with CGI." No, he couldn't do that. He had to sit there and he had to sell it to the worst possible company that took his idea of making franchises and sequel after sequel after sequel, and they're notorious for that. Walt Disney. They have done it with every single movie they've come out with that's been a big hit. They've come out with a sequel after a sequel after a sequel after a sequel. And he decided, well, I'm going to do that. I can just see the conversation between, and you know the bad thing is, Steven Spielberg. Spielberg and Lucas used to be my idols. I have a friend who works at Real Effects too. He works, you know, with Fox Studios down there. He's working on the Book of Life right now. And we are both in agreement. I mean, we went to watch Indiana Jones 4. How I ever talked him into thinking that was going to be a good movie, I don't know. And bless his heart, I'm so sad that I did that. And poor Steven Spielberg. I mean, George Lucas he just train wrecked Spielberg's whole career. I mean, he just train wrecked it. He came in and he got Spielberg to redo. I will never, guys, this is when George Lucas got me. This is what got me. I went out, I was all excited. I bought the DVD set of Star Wars. I hadn't seen it in years. And I was like, I hadn't seen it, like, it was on VHS last time I saw it. And so I went and bought it. I said, it's going to be great. So what do? I sit down and I'm watching the first video, and within the first 20 minutes, there's a familiar scene where they go to this city called Mos Eisley. And for those of you who don't know what Mos Eisley is, and most of you who don't watch this probably do because you're probably nerds and geeks. But if you don't, that's where Obi-Wan Kenobi and Skywalker and C-3PO, they go into the little city, within the first 20 minutes of the movie. And I'm looking, and I'm just sitting there, this is going to create the magical. It's like when I was a kid, I'm just going to get raptured, pretend like the prequels never happened. And all of a sudden, this big blob of CGI just blocks my whole view of the city. I said, I sense a disturbance in the force. Well, okay, hopefully that won't happen again. Now I look in the distance, a few seconds later, I look back up after being completely interrupted with my train of thought and total enrapturement in this great movie, and all of a sudden, there's a big blob of CGI in the distance, and something that looks like a CGI blob that looks like a Jawa that is swinging from this other big blob of CGI. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the crap? What? By that time, I started to turn to the dark side. So, anyway, I thought, I was like, I can't believe that just happened. And I'm like, well, hopefully it won't happen again. So we get through The Empire Strikes Back. That's great. Oh, man, that's just a great movie. Fortunately, Lucas did not touch it, as far as I know. It's the only untouched movie you can buy right now. And then we're getting to the part, we've gotten past the part in Return of the Jedi where, Luke and his father, they've made up, and I went through all that drama, and everything was so great, and then all of a sudden, we get to the end, and I'm sitting there like, here comes my favorite part of the movie, of the whole series, the finale, where I get to see Yoda standing next to Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they're all at peace, and then all of a sudden, no! I said, you didn't just, George Lucas, you just did that. You ruined the ending scene of your saga. You ruined it. I said, I've never been able to get that image out of my head. That image probably sticks in my head. It more than any other movie image. Like it ranks up there with like the scene from Titanic. You know what scene I'm talking about from Titanic. And it ranks right up there with that one. That's how memorable it is. And so, my friend and I, we went to watch, Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We went to watch that, and, I can just see George Lucas having that conversation with Steven Spielberg, right? Steven Spielberg has said he did not like the idea of aliens. He did not like the idea of interdimensional beings. He didn't like any of that crap. And I can just see the conversation between him and George Lucas right now. Hey, Steven, I've got a really great idea for a new Indiana Jones movie. Want to hear it? Well, George, I think we've treaded over that water long. No, Steven, it's a really awesome idea. You gotta hear it. Well, George, I don't know. With what you did in episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, I don't know if we want to go. No, Steven, you have to listen. It's great. It's the MacGuffin. The MacGuffin's incredible. It's so awesome. I already destroyed Star Wars episodes with episodes 1, 2, and 3. And then I recut the originals. We can we can destroy Indiana Jones too, and I can take you with me, and we can have this grand finale where we just we can go up in a blaze of CGI UFOs that come out of a temple, and Stevenson, and he's thinking, well, George, that's why not? I already screwed up E.T. with all the CGI remakes. Let's just do it. Let's screw up movies for the end of time. Why not? Let's just screw them all up. I mean, you know, the influence you guys have had. And now, guys, every time I buy a bag of Doritos, every time I walk into Walmart, every time I go to the movie theater, every time I turn on my TV, every time I go to check my Facebook, I'm going to have to see a Star Wars logo with a Disney logo next to it. And you know what that means? I already have all these really bad associations with the Star Wars logo from episode 1, 2, and 3. But now to compound that, I have all the associations that go along with Disney's logo. Hannah Montana, Selena Gomez, wonderful, the Lion King 1.5. So I get all of those wonderful things running through my mind at the same time as the Star Wars prequels. Thank